Hello, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
Back.
We are back.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The line. Here. The line. New man looking so fine. Kirk Cousins.
All right. I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football.
Hey, good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday evening, and you know what that means. It's time for Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable. I am Nick Rosario, one of the co-hosts of this fantastic program. And of course, us with me every week, my co-host, Delilah Crespo. Delilah,
woo! What's up? Doing great. Hello, everybody.
I tell you. Enjoying this great Chicago weather we've been having the last week or so.
Yes, it's been in the
Fantastic.
70s.
That's right. For once, we don't have a heat wave in August. It's beautiful. But let's get into it because I know you're all here to hear us talk football. So, Delilah, let's get right to it. Our beloved Bear had their first preseason game on Saturday. And we actually somehow came out with a victory over the old kids. I mean, again, it's preseason, we know. But, hey, any win is a victory, right? You got to look at the positives here. 19-14 over the Chiefs. But my question to you is, what were some of the things that you saw that you liked about what the Bears did on Saturday?
I mean, Simeon. I'm glad we have him at backup. Thank you so much. Someone even asked me, they're like, how do you feel about Simeon being like solid? I'm like, absolutely fantastic. Like, why would I be upset about that? I'm like, if you could get some W's and be solid, like that's all I care about. Who could lead the team? So by all means, like, so it was great to see that, he could step in and, do what he needs to do. So far, like I did like to see that,
Yeah.
I liked our, our running backs, our wide receivers. That was pretty much the only positive,
Well, you know what, though? There was some things on defense that I did like with some of the second string guys.
I want to see some
the
more.
first team defense, right? Well, the first team defense we know is struggling right now. With Roquan's not in there. We're trying to get pieces together. But to me, one of the standouts was two guys. On the first team, it was Jaquan Brisker. That kid was just all over the ball. Number 9, like corner. This was a great pick. I know people were like, should have took a receiver first. But I think this pick may actually work out because this kid just attacks the ball, and he was all over the field in that game. He was everywhere. And I just think if he can keep that kind of intensity, and just continue to learn as a rookie and get better and better and better, that's going to be a great pick for us. Like, he literally – and another one was kind of surprising. I know, again, it's second team, but the kid hustled. Nick Sanborn, number 57. Sanborn was in. He had a tackle for loss. He had fumble recovery. Like, he was in there. The kid was playing hard. He was all over the place. And that's what you want to see. And here's one of the most important things for me. I don't know, maybe, again, everybody has a different view, I guess, in some time. But I just felt like they at least were ready to play. There wasn't stupid penalties. There wasn't, like, miscommunication. There was no, like, false starts. They didn't have a lot of flags. Like, and, last year, when you looked at the Bears, there was so many stupid penalties, a lot of offsides, this, that. You're like, they came out, and again, it's a preseason game. There's a long way to go. We know that. But just to actually see that they came out as a unit, they played, they played together, and they did it. To me, those are positive. We're trying to work towards. You know what I mean?
I am positive. I am positive about the rookies. That's true. Like, that's good. I'm still,
No, we have a long way to go. I know.
Like, I feel like I need to see. I have to see something happen with Justin.
Yes.
Like, it's just,
Agreed.
like this. It wasn't great. It wasn't awful, but also wasn't great. And then, it felt like our O-line still had the same issues as before. And so I'm hoping that. And I know it's only preseason, so I'm not going to right now be like, oh, it's all over. But like,
no, but I know what you mean.
Those are the areas that I really need to see something different happen in week 2. But yeah, I am glad that the rookies are coming out and doing what they got to do, because that's what we're trying to do. I'm totally fine with the new like managers like not taking any gumption anymore and being like, look at, we need to be disciplined, need to go out and whatever. And I'm totally fine with the idea of you get it done or you're out, like, because that's what we're looking for, right? Why are we going to keep people on if you're not going to do exactly what we signed you to do? So, but yeah, so yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that, like I said, like I am happy that, our new guys in defense are showing up and did what they have to do. Darnell Mooney's going to Mooney, right? Mooney is money. So I'm always going to be happy to see him out there. I want to see more from Khalil Herbert because I do think that he can do more than, what they're using him to do. But again, preseason, I get it. With your running backs, you need to be more cautious. He did get banged up a lot, but I really want to see more from Khalil because I really do think he could be a star. Like, I really think he could take that run. He really has he really has it in him to really get those yards and the way he's got to do. But again, want to see some improvement in that O-line. Want to see more from Justin. But again, was very happy to see that Simeon could step in if he needs to. I have no problem with that. Like, and again, our defense is aging, so it's nice to see you guys come in and take over. The whole Roquan Smith situation, if you guys are following, there's some weird guy that no one knows who's calling the Chicago Bears, who's calling all these management people. No one even knows who he is. They don't know if that's his manager or whatever. And he's making all these calls and asking for all these like ridiculous like demands and money. Yeah. Even like Schefter said that like all the offers that the Bears have put on the table for Roquan Smith have been fair.
Yeah. Yes.
And that they were more than willing to pay him what they needed to pay. And so like the fact that he's saying no, I don't know who's talking to him, but basically, all the analysts are saying that the Bears are actually offering him a pretty good deal, but he keeps shutting them down. So I don't know what's going on, who's talking to him, but dude, that's
the thing. It's like you can't. Eventually, the money's going to start coming out of his pocket, so he's going to have to make a decision either way. Hey, man, you either going to, you're going to buck up and deal with this, the expense that we offered you, or you're just going to have to sit out and just take a loss because they're not going to trade him. It doesn't appear that way right now anyway.
No.
Because they're not looking to trade him, and it doesn't appear that they're going to. So Roquan has a decision to make himself. And again, like you said, I mean, some expert, and again, we don't know what's being offered. They haven't actually given hard numbers. They just say that it's fair. So whatever they consider in their mind to be fair is what they're going on. So again, we shall see in the coming weeks how this story develops. But
and that's coming. And I'm just saying, like, no one is ever on the Bears side, by the way. So whenever I see analysts actually like take our side, that tends to tell me that it was a fair offer because people always hate us, hate our managers, hate our owners, which I understand. There's a lot of reason for that. But like, if all of these like analysts are saying like, nah, he's getting like fair offers and he's still like saying no, and like I said, like there's a person claiming to rep him who's making these phone calls, so we don't know what's going on. That's a little weird, right? But they're saying there's like this dude who's just calling and like representing him and asking for all this stuff. So I don't know what's going on, Roquan. I don't know who you're talking to. Exactly. I don't know what's going on, but you need to figure it out because it's not making you look good. Not and not even for us. Like if you wanted to go to another team and they're seeing this, they don't want to deal with that either. No, so that's true. Even if you wanted to be traded, people are looking at these things and they're looking at this weird guy that no one knows who's saying he represents you, making calls in your name. So figure that out, guy. Seriously.
For sure. And answer your question, Sean Spencer. Daz Newsome actually, first half didn't do anything. He muffed a punt, dropped a pass that looked like he could have caught, but he redeemed himself with a touchdown in the second half. So we'll see if Daz is still fighting for that roster spot. And I tell you, Tajay Sharp looked good at the receiver position, and that rookie running back Ebner had made some good plays. So Daz Newsome's going to have to step it up a little bit if your Carolina boy is going to make it into the 53-man roster, my friend. But moving on, we just real quick, we have a preview, not a preview, but the Bears play Seattle on Thursday night. They said the offense will probably get 6 to 10 snaps because it's a short week. You don't want to wear anybody out. So again, looking forward to what they do this week, see if they come out and play a little bit more aggressive, see what happens. We know we did lose a center. Doug Kramer also went down with an injury. So now we've lost 2 centers and Lucas Patrick And Doug Kramer said, "Oh, Sam Mustipher goes back to center position, which is not ideal for us. I don't think Mustipher is that great of a player. So hopefully we can figure this out, get that line in order, because as Delilah and I both know, it's going to start with that line this year. They can't protect Fields, we're done. So that's one of the biggest things. So let's move on. We're going to bring in the third member of our illustrious team here. Welcome to the program, Mr. Anthony Handy. Anthony, how are you doing, sir?
Hello, everyone. It is good to see you all.
Yes, it's always good to be seen, my friend. How are you doing there? How's life in the small city over there in Oklahoma? How are we doing?
I'm doing. Things are going pretty good, man. I'm not doing too terribly bad. I got tomorrow's my Friday. Thursday morning, I'm on a jet plane on my way to the DMV to go see my folks from the Metro DC that I haven't seen in a few years. Celebrated. The baby of the bunch is now 21 years old. He came by and hung out with us on Friday.
Wow.
And he wanted that dish that you saw, the $1 million spaghetti. That was what he said he wanted for his for his birthday. So we fixed that for him, and we ate, and we got him a 9-in-1 7-quart instant pot, because like his pops, he loves to cook. And we sat down and we all watched movies, and by we all watch movies, I mean he watched the movie while the rest of us fell asleep. So that's
we do. Okay, awesome. We want to wish him happy birthday then to your boy. That's nice. Happy birthday, and good luck on your little vacation. But before we let you go away, we got some football to talk. So let's go to our news and notes segment that we have here on the program. And the first thing we want to talk about, Lamar Jackson. Sitting in the middle of this 5th year, he's here now. They're talking contract extension, but they haven't agreed to one yet. And Lamar says that he's ready to, even if he doesn't have a contract, to play in week 1. Now, Anthony, I'll ask you first. Do you think this is a good idea for Lamar to play without a contract?
Absolutely not. Because so I want to make sure. Well, let me ask this question. I want to make sure I'm understanding this, because I've been watching football as long as I can remember, and I still do not know how these NFL contracts work. Like, there's a certain percentage of the money that's guaranteed, and the game checks they get paid. I think they get a weekly game check, and yada yada yada. Right. But so if he doesn't have a contract, does that mean that he's just getting paid whatever his scale was before?
Well, understand this is the 5th year of his rookie deal. So he technically has a contract for this year. He doesn't have the extension past this year. So So what's happening is that he's saying that he'll still play even though he doesn't have a contract past this year, and because he represents himself. And a lot of people are kind of questioning that too. Delilah, I would ask you that question. Do you think that's a bad move on his part, given that it's his 5th year in the NFL, to have not picked up an agent or something now to help him negotiate these kinds of things?
Yeah, I think the reason he said that is because his thinking, and he doesn't have an agent, but the reason he's saying that is because he feels like it'll all be taken care of. Like, he'll sign something, they'll give him some offer before the season begins, based on like what he said, he's tweeted, and kind of articles I've read, is like he doesn't think it'll go that far, like that it'll take to the first week of the season, for him to have a contract. But yeah, I do feel like he definitely needs somebody, some expert or someone talking to him. But at the same time, I'm assuming that that's kind of one of the reasons he said that, is that they're talking right now. He doesn't. It just makes it seem like he's gonna accept whatever offer. Not whatever, but it just feels like that this likelihood, whatever is going on behind the scenes, that he will have a contract before the season begins, right? Like,
that's what you hope for, right?
Because most quarterbacks or even players, when they're unhappy, we know about it, right? We see the tweets, we see articles, everything's coming out, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't feel like in this negotiation that there's really much animosity. It just seems like maybe they're trying to get down to the like nitty gritty final points, like little things that we probably don't think about. Like Anthony says, like, we really don't know what an NFL contract looks like. We have an idea. We've seen stuff. Like, people will release certain aspects, but we've never sat down and read a whole NFL document, right?
Sure.
And so I think the reason he's saying that is because of that. I don't think that they're in a place where he's going to walk away from the Ravens, which is why I think he's willing to say that, right? I think that's why he's willing to say that come first week, if I don't have a contract, I'm going to play. To me, that makes me think that he will have a contract before the new season. You know what I mean? Like,
you hope the Ravens take care of their biggest asset, right?
Yeah, I just don't think. Yeah, and everything, like, rumors are coming out that he will have a pretty good contract. They're saying that's going to be better than Kyler Murray's contract, because obviously Murray got a big deal. So some of the stuff that I see coming out from people who are behind the scenes, they're saying it's going to be better than his contract, right?
Well, you got to think too, given what Deshaun, which is going to lead into our next kind of topic here, was given by the Cleveland Browns. I would think that Lamar's going, hey, wait a minute, bro. I'm looking at some money like that. Like, let's talk about this. So again, we do hope a deal gets done for Lamar. Again, he's negotiating on good faith and on his own behalf.
Yeah.
So, we'll see how that ships out. But speaking of Deshaun Watson, we all, know that he's currently on a 6-week suspension for the allegations against him. Again, allegedly, I don't want to get into that. Their settlements were made and all that. I'm not slandering nobody. I'm just saying. But now, as you know, this thing has been appealed, and the NFL now has it in their hands. And the rumors going around, and all the experts are saying that the NFL is shooting for a full year suspension for Deshaun for these, for everything that's happened. Do you guys think, will the NFL, Delilah, I'll start with you. Does the NFL pull the trigger on this and give Deshaun a 1-year suspension?
I don't think so. Okay. Here's why. Because if you look at the rules, Deshaun Watson and the National Players Association can appeal the appeal. I know it's a lot. I know it's really weird, but there's a lot of like rules and whatever. So basically, and they have both said, Deshaun Watson and the National Players Association have both said, if the NFL gives him a year suspension, they're gonna fight it. Right? They said they're gonna put in their own appeal and they're gonna fight it, and so this is gonna be drawn on. And the rules are a little tricky about double appeals, whether he could play or not. There's not 100% certainty that he can't start necessarily, because again, there's just not a lot of stuff that's really explained in that. Is why people are like, why is he playing now? It's it's a preseason. This is a regular season suspension. So any suspension that happened doesn't keep players from being able to play in the preseason or attend training camp. Suspensions have to do with the regular season. And so just to throw that out there, I just don't think they'll throw the book at him. He has said he'll take 8 suspensions and he'll even take a fine. And so I feel like what the NFL is going to do is find somewhere in the middle of that. Okay. Maybe they'll suspend him 10 games, which is half the season almost. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I think that they're going to find somewhere in the middle, and they are going to give him a longer suspension than 6 games. I just don't think they'll give him a year because, again, Deshaun Watson and the National Players Association have said multiple times that they'll fight they will fight that appeal. If the NFL decides to go against what the judge recommended, and even now Deshaun Watson is saying, hey, you know what, suspend me 8 games, fine me $5 million. Right. And so
he wants to play this year, obviously.
And so it's gonna get drawn out, right? It's gonna get drawn out, and you're gonna have all these things going on. It's gonna cause a distraction. So I feel like what the NFL is gonna end up doing is somewhere in the middle. I don't think they'll suspend him for the whole season, but I think they will suspend him more than those 6 games.
All right,
and they might fine him. They might fine him.
Oh no, they're going to fine him probably for sure if they do that. But Handy, what do you think, man? I mean, because it's a situation to me where the NFL could make a statement with this suspension, but again, do they pull the trigger and go the full yard and give him the whole year?
I don't think so either. I mean, and you mentioned about them making a statement. If they really wanted to make a statement, he wouldn't even be playing in the preseason. Not to mention the fact that as much money as Cleveland has invested and guaranteed into his contract, right? You think that if Roger Goodell, let's remember Roger Goodell, even though Roger Goodell is more of a figurehead than he actually is an authoritative figure. he still works for those for those 32 billionaires.
Oh, absolutely.
And if he says to Cleveland, you know that all that money, the most expensive investment that you just made ever in the history of your franchise, you can throw the first year of that out the window because he's going to sit. You don't think that those owners are going to get together and they're going to start talking amongst themselves, and we may start hearing rumors whispered by week 5 or week 6. All of a sudden, Roger Goodell's not fit to do the job, and it wouldn't surprise me that by the end of the year that Roger Goodell is on the outs. They might even drag it out for a couple of years, even.
Right.
Like there's a whole there's all these layers to this. I don't think they will. I mean, we've talked about this before. The only time the NFL has really said, "Okay, we got to do something," is when it had it on videotape.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And after the fact, which is the crazy part, because they had the tape.
And after the fact, they had to tape before the season started. Ray was out there running up and down the field. Remember, he talked about all I could think of was, "Hey, diddle diddle." Ray right up the middle, and then this video came out. So I like I said, I'm not dogging the NFL. I'm not dogging the owners, but we know that if they wanted to make a true statement, that Deshaun Watson would not have been able to suit up and go play this weekend, whenever it was this weekend that he played. So I don't think they do. I mean, for me, it's a case of I've seen this episode of this show before.
Right, I've seen and that's the thing. We have seen this before, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little surprised at the 6th game because I thought maybe they do more fines in 4 games or something. But fine, they the independent judge said 6, and she even said she went on precedent. Like, I'm going by what you guys have done before. So that's why she only gave him 6 games.
Exactly.
And that right there shows you, how strong or whatever the NFL has been on this sort of thing. So now you have the opportunity. And again, I wish they would pull the trigger personally. But again, I'm kind of with you guys. I just feel like the experts can say it and everybody can, but I don't think it's going to happen either. And that's the crazy part. It absolutely should, regardless of what Cleveland spent on, money guaranteed. That's your fault then. Nobody told you to do that. So to me, right. But like you said, that would probably upset the owners. And of course, the Cleveland owner for sure, because he just gave this guy all this money. And then, because like you said, I just feel like Roger Goodell, he's like friends with all the owners, and like they all got this secret pact to keep each other happy. So I don't know.
What do y'all think out there, Roundtable people who are watching?
Give us your comments.
Yes,
Somebody
hit us in the comments.
Well, he missed the whole season.
Good evening to you. Spurs up. Okay. I'm sorry. It says Facebook user. I'm not sure who that is.
I know. I don't see it either.
I apologize.
But yeah, what do you think?
Kate was watching. Kate said hello. Sean said hello.
Woo, hey, everybody.
And said hello. Right.
Hey, y'all.
So, Hey, y'all, everybody. We appreciate you watching. Hey, absolutely.
And by the way,
without you, we're just talking to each other.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, if you're watching this right now, go ahead and hit the like button. If you're watching it on YouTube,
Will.
hit the subscribe button.
Oh, okay.
If you if you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button to the channel. And definitely share this with your I know there's more people besides the Let's Talk Football family that like football. Share it anywhere, share it any and everywhere that you can share it, because every interaction with these videos pushes the algorithm, and then after a while you start seeing more views and more things, and that'll allow us to do some more stuff.
That's right. Couldn't have said it better, my friend.
Will said anything less than a season means he's going to have to pay them. He said he's willing to pay. Like, does that mean he's willing to pay? Yeah. So, like, I know he said $5 million, but I bet you, like, if the NFL said we're going to suspend you for 10 games only, and you're going to be fined like $20 million, whatever it is, he's 100% going to take that. Like, he's going to take the deal as long as they don't suspend it for the season.
Because he's still got the biggest guaranteed contract in the
NFL.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, granted, Pat Mahomes has the biggest contract, but he's got the biggest guaranteed contract.
Right. Remember, like, even when he was sitting out in the Texans, right? Remember, I think people forget he sat out a whole season and a half. He got paid. He got paid. He was paid that whole time because there was no, and so, like, again, I don't think like he'll have a problem with that. Like, I agree with you, Will. Like, I think the NFL is furious, but I just don't know if they want to draw it out. Like, I just don't know if they want to draw out a season fight with this guy.
Yeah, the appeals could take
That's
forever.
all,
And then you
like-
got, it could be a mess. It really could be a mess, and that's the
You
thing.
know what though? Every single one of us is like, oh man, the day is paying me 7-8 figures a year to sit on my butt. I gladly sit on my butt, but it still means you got to go to work. I don't know. Hey, come on, man.
Well,
you still got to get up.
Yes, you do.
And it's not like, and this ain't like no job where you can just put on a button down, a pair of chinos, and some socks.
Right, you still gotta go out there and train. You gotta
go to work. You gotta go to practice.
Put in the work.
Yeah. You gotta show up. You gotta show up get on the plane, take the trip. You gotta go to the locker room, put on all that gear. I played football. Right. It is not fun.
Right,
getting out of that gear after you've been running up and down the field in it for 3 hours.
That's why they're compensated well, my friend. That's why.
I know. I agree with you, Sean Spencer. It's not the right message.
Oh no, we just telling you what we think they're gonna do, which is exactly what they have done in the
past. We don't agree with it either, sir. But yes, it does send a bad message. I agree with you. It's terrible. It really is. Well, let's move on from that because we all know how we feel about old Deshaun there. Last thing in news and notes that we're going to get to here. Our boy Zach Wilson, New York Jets, got injured. Had arthroscopic knee surgery today. They said it was a success, but they don't want to bring him back until he's absolutely ready, they say. So your week 1 starter more than likely will be, drum roll for everyone, Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco, ladies and gentlemen. Starting for the New York Jets probably week 1. Now, here's my question about this. Because I get it, Zach Wilson, second year, kid showed some flash last year, yada, yada, yada. He's got some offensive weapons now that they got in the draft with the running back and receiver and all this. But come on, you go with the hot hand, don't you? What if Joe Flacco comes out week 1 and lights it up? Not that he will, but Joe Flacco comes out week 1 and absolutely lights it up. Do you go, that's interesting? Or what some of the other critics are talking about and our experts that you hear on sports radio and all that, television, if it's going to be a longer thing, do you then explore the option of one Jimmy Garoppolo who's sitting out there waiting to go to a team after losing his job to Trey Lance? Delilah, we'll start with you. What do you think about this whole, and again, this could be premature, but this is why this is fun. What do you think about this whole situation there in New York?
I think it's sensible. Okay, I'm going to go out and say, I think it is sensible to let this guy get his knee surgery taken care of and let him heal because I don't remember. It's a longer football season now. Mm-hmm. There is no reason to send out your starting quarterback and then mess up the knee permanently, right? Again, we're happy it's not an ACL, right? We're happy it's not a more serious knee injury as we've seen because there's other players that we know that we've been paying attention. They're out for the season. So I believe it is sensible for them to actually sit him out that first week and go, you know what, Flacco, go out there, do your thing, let this kid heal. And yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I don't think it'll be lights out with Flacco. I know he carried the team to the Super Bowl and he had his 10 minutes, 15 minutes of fame or whatnot. I know we've all had conversations about Super Bowl wins, but whatever you think, we know that people look at it as a big deal. Okay, whatever you feel about the quarterback, fact is this man has a Super Bowl win, right? Let's just get that out the way. So
let's get that out of the way, right?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, though. So does Martin Brunell.
I don't know.
Martin Brunell.
Yeah,
I mean, he wasn't a quarterback.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that makes him elite. But it is Flacco, right? He's got that personality, right? People know who he is. The only people who know Brunell is people who pay attention to the really specific football. Right. But everybody knows who he is, right? So basically, I still think it's smart to not send Wilson out there week 1. It doesn't make sense because then what happens? What if he does go out there, he gets tackled, or something? Boom, done. Then he's out for the season. Now you're out. You're starting quarterback, right? So for me, it makes sense. And whatever you may think about Flacco, at least he's ready to go in. At least he knows the plays, right? At least he knows the team. At least he knows what needs to be done, right? He knows what it means to be under pressure. So whether you like it or not, at least he actually understands what that means, what it means to play in the NFL, right? What it means to play in a game. I don't think he'll take over the team, but at least he's there, I don't see that happening, right? I don't see that happening. I really don't think that he'll go in and take over that team, but at least he's there. I think what the Jets want is that at least if he could hold their season together, till Wilson could come back, you know what I mean? So like,
no, I got you.
It's really all they want. So we'll see what happens, but
Andy,
it makes sense. Go ahead.
Andy, I got a question for you. No, because in second part of that, I was just saying, they're saying, 2 to 4 weeks recovery and all this, but again, it's a knee injury. It's a serious thing. He had it, he had the surgery done. You want him to rest and relax. If it goes too long, do you consider bringing in Jimmy Garoppolo, who is sitting out there, who's proven that when he does play, he can win? But I mean, again, or do you stick with Flacco in the meantime and just, take the veteran quarterback and there you go?
I've been saying this for a couple of seasons now. Jimmy Garoppolo is the best injury-prone quarterback in the NFL. Okay? Jimmy Garoppolo is Mr. Glass. I want to say yes, but I mean, Garoppolo has gotten to the point where let's say they're playing Philly and Nakobe Dean misses the sack, blows by him, and the wind from him blowing by Jimmy G knocks him over. He's gonna tear his Achilles, he's gonna dislocate his pinky, and he's gonna lose 3 of his baby teeth.
There it is.
That's just the guy. And I'm not even trying to make a joke. I'm being serious. That's just how fragile this kid is.
I know.
So do you want to even give this kid? I get it. I mean, but do you want to give? And I feel bad for him because he's not talented as a quarterback. But do you want to give somebody that, whatever kind of money he might want to come and get hurt, and then you got to, whatever you guaranteed him, you got to pay him. Now, as far as Joe Flacco, my jury's out on Joe Flacco. I mean, I knew who Joe Flacco was, but I wasn't really paying him any mind until he started racking up all these stats on the way to the Super Bowl.
Right.
I'd be damned if, you can't convince me that Joe Flacco didn't play the long game. Came in and played just good enough to stay and start a quarterback. And then he turned around and pulled the usher. Watch this. And then he had that Super Bowl season. Then he was like, hey, contract time. Give me my money. And they gave him the money. And then he went back he said, watch this. And then he disappeared back. You know what I mean? Like, and now he's like, he's an elder statesman of the NFL.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Joe Flacco's been around a long time. That Super Bowl was many years ago, my friend.
Yes. Dude, I don't even think I was looking at 50 then. I think I maybe just turned 40. I might have been graduating high school. I don't know. But he's been anyway. But I mean, I exaggerate, but in terms of NFL play, I know he's not a lineman or a running back. It takes a lot of beating and bruising. But still, look, like the saying is, today's price is not yesterday's price is not today's price. Right. Yesterday's quarterback arm is not today's quarterback arm.
Correct.
Right.
We all remember. We remember what happened to one of the greatest gunslingers in the modern era, Brett Favre. It got to a point where it just got to the point where it's like, yep.
I want to answer this question though, because this.
I agree with you, Sean.
Without Wilson, makes a need for a new quarterback.
Well,
I want to answer. I'm sorry. I'll get you in a minute.
Please. No, go ahead.
I want to answer this because I feel like, given the way the AFC is structured, if the Jets have any hope to make a push, if Wilson is out 3 to 4 weeks, I would get somebody else in there. Because I'm telling you, you can't afford to fall behind in the AFC this year. There's a lot of powerhouse teams, and there's a lot of teams with really good quarterbacks in the AFC, which we're going to talk about that later as well. And I just think, and again, he's not saying he's going to be out that long, but you're rehabbing an injury. But sometimes people get hurt when they're rehabbing the injury again, or something happens, or they tweak something, or something. He goes back to practice, and something. You gotta make sure. That's why I say, depending on how he does in recovery, will tell a whole lot. And I'm just saying, it's a hypothetical right now because it's only season, week 2 of the preseason. But I think in the back of your mind, you got to consider the possibility if something like that happens. What do? Do you make the move or you stick with Flacco? That's all I'm going to say about that.
No, I agree with
Delilah,
you.
You were saying?
No, I actually agree with you. And I'm laughing because someone said trade for Sam Howell. I know. No, because I can see Sean in the comments, so I don't know who the Facebook user is. But
who's
that's
the
kind of
Facebook
funny.
user? Right.
I don't know.
This says Facebook user.
I don't know who that is, but that's kind of funny because we all know Sean Spencer loves Sam Howell, so the fact that someone's like trade for him.
So yes,
that's still Will.
That's why he asked by Daz Newsome earlier because he's funny. A Carolina boy.
Wait a minute, Nick. Can you go back a couple of comments?
I know,
Can you highlight Kate's comment again?
Which one about the mom and she'll take care of Zach Wilson? Yeah, I left that up there for a while just for that reason. Way to go!
I was going to say, Kate. I don't think that Mr. Smokey Smooth and Mr. and the massive piece of magic would and TB12 would
jumping on the Zach Wilson train.
Appreciate you two-timing. It's like, look, Zach Wilson has become the Patrick Payne of the NFL. For those of you, that Game of Thrones reference for you right there.
Wow.
It's like,
there it is.
Whoo, like the ladies are like, hey, but
you can say Stifler. Stifler's mom. Hello.
Stifler's. Oh wow. Wait, now we're going there with Kate. Oh, good lord.
No,
the show is coming off the rails quick.
Hold on. We not no. Hold on a second. We not gonna do that. Don't do that to me today, Skip Bayless. I'm not gonna do that. Kate, that's not what I'm saying. I was just making a little jokey joke because Kate got a nickname for all the young quarterbacks. You know what, Kate?
She does.
That needs to be a segment on the lady show.
I heard the nicknames for all the young quarterbacks.
By the end of the season, there needs to be a nickname for every young quarterback in the league.
Funny. Oh, by the way, it was David that said trade Sam Howell. Come on, Will's not going to say that. He's a Commanders fan.
Right.
That was David. David is saying that they should trade for Sam Howell.
Excuse me, boo boo. I'm looking at the feed, and it say Will Kramer right there. Trade for Sam Howell.
Oh, it says it's David. I don't know. Will Kramer. Whose Facebook user is?
I'm getting his Facebook user on the set, so I greatly apologize for who that is. We're not on the stream.
Y'all are going to have to anonymize yourselves. Anonymizations.
That's what he said.
Yeah, look,
right, I actually move on from all of
I agree with Nick though. I don't think that they'll get a quarterback right away, but I think a few seasons in, if the Jets have a losing season, regardless if they think they can make an AFC run, I get it, but they think they can, and I get it because they actually did a good job this offseason. They really have a nice core, right? They actually got a lot of strong guys, strong talent, and I don't think they want to let that go to waste. So I don't think that they're going to let the opportunity go. So I think a few seasons in, if Wilson can't come back and they're seeing the writing on the wall, I think that's when they'll trade for a quarterback. Not yet, but I think that's when they'll make a move a little later in the season.
Sounds good. So let's move on because we all have our opinions on that, which is great. But we're going to move on to the next segment. And I posed this question to my fellow colleagues. As we know, there are a lot of second-year quarterbacks this year that are going to be starting for their teams. It looks like all five of them are basically going to be the starters. So which second-year quarterback will show the most improvement out of Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, or Trevor Lawrence? And Handy, I'm going to start with you, my friend.
Well, I'm going to take the easy answer. It's not going to be Zach Wilson because everybody else will have a head start.
Well, it may not be for a few weeks at least, right? Okay. There it is.
Oh God. I really, I don't want to say the same thing that somebody else said, but I have to agree with we talked about this before the show.
No, you weren't supposed to say that. We didn't talk about this in pre-show. What are you talking about? This is a question I just gave you now. No, I'm just kidding.
We talked about
you're shattering the fourth wall, pal. Come on.
We talked
show here.
We talked about which second-year quarterback we would like to take out for a Philly cheesesteak.
Right,
is what we talked about because they got good cheesesteaks and deep dish pizza in Chicago.
They do.
And so we had talked about that, and the same name had come out because they said they thought he was cool, and I didn't want to take that answer because we had talked about that already.
I see. Okay,
do you see? You man, come on now.
That's why I love you, man. All right, give us your answer though. Come on. I know you have a legit, honest answer, so come on.
Well, my legit, honest answer is Trey Lance. Trey Lance is definitely. He is definitely in it's Brucey's time to shine, except he's a hell of a lot better than Brucey.
Sure.
And I think once they hand that kid the reins, he's good. I mean, San Francisco is going to be on. I don't think they will have been on fire like that since Joe Montana. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it.
No, that's fair. I mean,
I'm going to
fair
say
enough. Fair enough. I don't. And you want to state anything else on that, or that's you're done with that's your simple statement?
That's
good?
it. That's all.
Okay.
Because if I talk anymore, I'll start cracking jokes. So
well, I mean that's all fine and good. I just want to make because I'm going to go to Delilah then next, and I think I have a feeling what you're going to say. But go ahead.
Deep dish pizza.
Great. Chicago hot dog.
Listen. Sorry to break the fourth wall, okay. But yeah, no, I do think of the 5. I do think Trey Lance will be. Oh, did you want to list the 5 we're looking at? I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? It's funny. I would, but of course, in pre-production, I didn't type that out. So there you go. So my mistake. Apologies. We're 100% here, folks. Warts and all. This is us. Let's Talk Football Roundtable.
There were 5 choices.
We got to type out the names. So one more time for everyone involved: Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, and Trevor Lawrence. Those are the 5.
Second year, yeah.
Second-year quarterback. Starting from the team.
We're looking at second-year quarterbacks. Now, we're not looking at our juniors and seniors now. We're looking at our sophomores.
Right. Those are the sophomores. Second year. Let's go.
So, yeah, I do. The reason I think Trey Lance, not only because he really is talented, but I think that he has, he has a solid wide receiver core. He has Debo back. Debo's willing to do everything now that they paid him, right? He's like, sure, I'll do running back, wide receiver, just pay me, right? He's got incentives now, right? So I think that he had, and then the O-line is strong, right? Again, both, I just think that Trey Lance has the road to success, right? And I do think that he has the ability to be a breakout star this season. I think he's going to shake up that whole division, especially with, how far are the Seahawks going to go? Let's be honest. So so I think he has a chance to actually shake up that division and actually fight for top spot. And again, it just has to do with not just him being talented, but again, they really do have a talented wide receivers. They have talented running backs. He's got a strong O-line that'll protect the quarterback. They've got, a really solid defense, all around solid team. And I think that he will carry that team. And I think it's smart for them to finally make a decision, because I think their issues last year since they couldn't make that decision, like, oh, Jimmy, let me put in Trey. I think now they're smart. This is their future. We're going to go forward with Trey Lance. And I think he's going to have a breakout season.
I don't disagree with anything that anyone has said here, but I'm going to go out on more of a limb, I think. I'm going to go Trevor Lawrence. And the reason I go Trevor Lawrence is, to me, that kid has been a gamer from day one. The kid can just flat out play football. He's got the build, the arm, the look, everything. And I just think now with the right coach in there, not Urban Meyer, but with the right coach, the right scheme, getting his running back, and all these things, I really do look for massive improvement from the Jacksonville Jaguars as a whole. And I think that's led by Trevor Lawrence. Now, again, he plays in the AFC, of course, which is powerhouse conference. But as far as improvement, I'm going to go with Trevor Lawrence on this one. But again, don't disagree about Trey Lance, because like you said, weapons all around, and he's finally getting a chance to take the reins and be the starter and all that. So yeah, I look for a good year from him too. I'm personally going to go with Trevor Lawrence. All right. Well, we also saw a couple other people. David Wright thinks Trey Lance too. Kate said he's going to be a stud, and I'm going to leave that at that, given Kate's other previous comments. So let's move on. Let's move on then to I can't help it. You guys are the best. I really do. I mean, I want you to know from the bottom of my heart, I really do appreciate you guys watching. I mean, we're just a bunch of regular people talking sports here, folks. And, so you may agree with our opinions or like the way we present it, but this is just 100% honest. This is who we are. This is what we do. And I just appreciate you guys watching. So on to the next bit of business for the Roundtable. In talking about that AFC conference, which we all know is stacked with quarterbacks, but one conference in particular literally is stacked with probably in the AFC, 4 of the best quarterbacks, arguably in the AFC this year. The AFC West, again, Nick needs to double check his typos. I was supposed to put which AFC West quarterback will have the better season, and I screwed that up too. So there you go. But of course, we're talking about the Chargers in Justin Herbert. We're talking about the Raiders with Derek Carr. We're talking about the Broncos with Russell Wilson now. And, of course, at the top of the list for most people, Kansas City with old Patty Mahomes. So, who do you think, Delilah, which AFC West quarterback has the better season out of those four?
I'm going Mr. Magic, Josh Allen.
He's not in the AFC West, Delilah.
Oh, I thought you said
Somebody failed.
I thought you said all the AFC. I'm sorry.
No, it's my fault.
Geography. Now this is
I didn't. I see AFC QB.
Right.
Will have the better season.
When I sent it out to them earlier, I put AFC West. But of course, when I typed it out, I didn't put in West.
I apologize. I was looking at the
okay. It's actually my fault. And I, as the host, will take full
apologies. Sorry.
Again,
okay.
My fault. I didn't put West in there.
Apologies. So we're not looking at the AFC conference.
I will re-ask the question. Delilah. Rewind. Take it back. Rewind. We're good. Everybody's still watching, I think. I don't think anybody's left, have they? We apologize for any inconvenience this has caused you. We now return to our regularly scheduled program. That's right. So, all right. Now, here we go. All right.
Let's try again.
Delilah, which AFC West quarterback will have the better season out of Derek Carr, Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson, or Patrick Mahomes?
Herbert.
All right.
Okay, I'm going with Herbert. I think because he's been like already on the precipice of greatness for so long, and he's always just right there. And I feel like this, honestly, in my opinion, this is like make or break season. Like he really needs to break out because they're always so close to making it. They're close to playoffs. I think that Herbert will have a breakout season, and I think he'll top the AFC West.
Okay. Nice and to the point. I like it. Mr. Handy. Now again, Anthony, I will ask you the question. Which
Josh
AFC
Allen.
West quarterback will have the better season?
You know what? I'm gonna go with Derek Carr. And I tell you why.
Okay.
Derek Carr has, with that injury that he had and then having to battle back from that. Can you all hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure because that didn't look like my board was lighting up. With the injury that he had, having to battle back from that, and then the Raiders just with the Gruden experiment, and the season that he's had, like he's been primed and ripe and ready for that breakthrough season. I don't see Mahomes doing it, not because Mahomes is not talented, but now we have years of game film on Mahomes. And of course, the Chiefs gave Mahomes a whole lot of money, which means it's less money to spread around other places. So some of his pieces, as we can see, are now other places. So I'm gonna go with Derek Carr. I think Herbert's gonna have the breakthrough season. I don't think it's gonna be this year. I think his break on through to his Jim Morrison moment will be next season, but I think Derek Carr is going to get it this year.
Okay. Now I went with it, and that's the thing about the Derek Carr thing. Personally for Derek Carr, I hope he has a breakout year because I think a lot of people are down on Derek Carr for whatever reason, the injury, whatever. But the kid can play. Like I do think, again, he's in a stacked division and he's getting his chance now. You got one of the best receivers in the game, your old Fresno State Bulldog teammate. So he's got a great target to throw to and a couple others. But again, I'm actually going to go with Justin Herbert. I know third year, you think maybe next year, but I got to say with that improved defense, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, those guys, you've got Austin Eckler, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen. I think this is the year Herbert really puts it all together in year 3. And you see that transformation to star quarterback. That's just me. But I'm going to go with Justin Herbert because I really feel like this is his year to shine, man. He's got everything he needs. Everything is in place. The defense, the offense, the line. Rashawn Slater comes back, and then they also picked up another lineman. Everything is set for Justin Herbert to have a fantastic year. Now, again, will that translate to playoff victories for the Chargers? That's yet to be seen.
Right.
But I do think the Chargers will be in the hunt. I do agree with you about Kansas City. I do think, and again, I don't say it like this, like, well, because Patrick Mahomes, if he doesn't make the Super Bowl, it's a bust. But I do think, again, that people have figured Patrick out a little bit. He's still a great athlete. He's still going to get his yards. He's still going to get his touchdown. He's going to get all that. But I think Kansas City as a whole team, they've, some people left. They picked up others, but, not as good as the ones who left, especially the receiving core. And I just think go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. It's
No, go ahead.
It's like your favorite sitcom, and then the 2.5 Men when Charlie Sheen left and they brought in
Ashton Kutcher.
It was still a funny sitcom, but it wasn't the same.
Quite what it was, right? Exactly.
And that's the same thing with Kansas City. A lot of the moving parts that contributed to that Super Bowl season are not there anymore, and they're still one of the most dangerous teams in the conference and in the league, but they're not as dangerous.
Yeah, I agree with Kate. I think them losing Hill is a big
There we go. Sorry,
problem.
Get the comments. We love our comments, people.
But I do agree with her. I think Hill is going to be a huge loss for that team, more than they think. I agree with her.
No, I do too, though. That's why I say, like, it's not that, you could say, well, Patrick's still Patrick, and he is. Like I said, he'll still get his. But I just think, given the quality of receiver and everything that he lost, it's hard to replace that, and it's going to be hard. They still have some problems on their offensive line. So I think, they have to protect Patrick. They have to make sure that happens. They're still the Chiefs, and they're still going to have a good year.
Right, I agree.
But I do think I wouldn't be surprised if they are dethroned in the AFC West this year. I wouldn't be surprised if one of those other teams gets them. Even Russ with Denver. Like, to me, man, getting a veteran. Somebody had said, I think David said it. Well, it's like, it's like when Peyton Manning went to the Broncos, like Russell Wilson going there. It's like, I think it'll shoot some life into them. Like, they got these young kids, Tim Patrick, Jerry Jeudy, Levante Williams in the backfield. Like, you've got weapons there, and you get a quarterback like Russ who can move and throw and all that stuff. And the Denver has a great defense.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree with that. So, I mean, you've all of a sudden made Denver that much better just by adding Russell Wilson. And
that's a tough division to win. No, it's going to be a tough division to win out. I think that's going to be one of the divisions that's going to go all the way to the end, right? We see that sometimes. Obviously, we can tell other divisions who's going to win like half season in. Yeah. I just don't see that happening with this division.
There's something that we can look at right now and say who's going to win the season hadn't started. Tampa Bay.
That's not the conversation. But anyway, yeah, I guess, again, like I said before, I think this is Herbert's year. I agree with Nick. I think this is, I think he is going to outperform and do really well. Now, it's not to negate Carr. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. And I know people are saying Adams, and it's coming from me. Okay? Bears fan. I've seen for seasons how he and Rodgers played, and it was elite, like ridiculous. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I say that for seeing it for seasons in and out. And as much as they played together in college, and I'm sure they're gonna make great connections, but it's not gonna be the same, guys. I'm sorry. Like, that's the honest truth, right? You're not going to see the Aaron Rodgers to Adams with Derek Carr. You're going to see some great passes because Adams is that great that he'll make those passes work, but it's not going to be the same. It's not. It's just, this is this pragmatic football talk, pragmatic QB to QB, right? It's not going to be the same. It's not. Sorry. So again, I do think this is Herbert's year. I think he's going to have a good season. I'm glad we all have different opinions. I'm glad you went with Carr. That makes it fun, right? We'll see who it is.
I'm just saying. I think
who it is. Maybe David's right. Maybe Russ wins it out. I don't know. It'll be fun to see.
Well, that's what I said. When Sean says who misses the playoffs, I've thought about this actually. And in that group, like in that division, I'm going to say it, and everybody's going to throw darts at me. I say Kansas City somehow misses out. That's going to be my pick. That's my hot take.
Wow.
That's my hot take for this. Yes, Anthony, you were going to say something?
No, go ahead, brother. I didn't know if you were finished. Well, I was going to say, why would anybody throw darts at you? I mean,
because Kansas City is revered as this great, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, yada yada yada. But I have a feeling that this year, just something's going to happen, and Kansas City misses the playoffs because I feel like the Chargers and Broncos make a surge, and that's just my again. Nick talking crazy in week 2 of the preseason, but
I don't think that's
I think that's crazy.
At all. No,
I think that's
Kansas
crazy.
City, personally.
Every Giant can be knocked off. See Joe Namath and the New York Jets versus Johnny Unitas and the Baltimore Colts. See Eli Manning and the New York Giants versus the 2007 New England Patriots. A Giant can be knocked out. It happens. Mike Tyson versus Buster Douglas. It happens. And I'm not even being funny when I say that.
No, you're not.
The 1980 USA.
I don't think
the Soviet Union.
people don't know that. They don't know Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson.
In 1988, Mike Tyson fought Buster Douglas at the Tokyo Dome and got his ass whipped. That's what happened. Look that up for you boys and girls who may not have seen that. Mike Tyson get whipped? Watch the Buster Douglas fight.
Yeah,
Mike Tyson was the baddest, most ferocious, most feared man on the face of the planet with two hands, and Buster Douglas made him look like he just gotten out of bed after an all-night binge.
Yeah, I think they made each other better, Sean. To be honest, I think they just had this magic. We've seen it, right? We've seen other tandems.
Belichick and Brady.
Yeah, we have seen tandems where they just click, right? They just work. It's like magic, and I think they just made each other better. Honestly,
I think Stifler's mom has chimed in.
Hey, she says she's okay with that. By the way, I don't see if you saw comments above.
Oh, okay.
But no,
Stifler's mom, she's okay with that.
Yes, you see her comments above. But anyway, so again, I think they made each other better. They just had a really great connection. They both talked about it for seasons. It's only this season that they're throwing funny shade at each other.
Right.
But yeah, they really did have a great connection. And until this season is the only time that they threw little shade at each other. But before then, they were always all about love and like, this is my guy. And so like, I think they made each other better. I think David made a good comment above about Russ. I see what you're saying, that he's the best overall quarterback in the NFC West, but
agreed.
He's
got the most seasoning in him.
I see what you mean about that.
Yep. No, I do. I mean, you can see that, but again, this is why we do this, because everybody's got what their opinion, and I tell you, I think above all other, I'm really excited about this season, and I'm always excited about football starting and all that. But to me, just what's going on this season, with the whole AFC West and those 4 teams, does Justin Fields actually make the Bears better? Will the Bears, finally break out of this funk we've been in for, we made the Super Bowl in 2007. So the last 15 years that they've been in, right? There's so many stories in the NFL this year. Does Kirk Cousins finally lead the Vikings to something? They're improved. No, I mean, they are, though. That's the thing. You can laugh at it because I'm not, yeah.
Wow, that was
But, I mean, the Vikings are predicted to come in second in the division and win like 10 or 11
Miss Cat Hughes, are you in the house? Anthony Handy laughed at your quarterback, ma'am.
But Detroit's supposed to be a little bit better with some of the pieces they've picked up. I mean, there's just so many stories, and I'm really excited about this year. I truly am. I'm excited to talk football. I could go on for 4 more hours, honestly.
We all can.
But of course, we are not. Right? We are not. we try to keep things tight around here. Anyways, but again, I want to thank everyone for watching this week. Like I said, we truly do appreciate you guys. We can't do this without you. The comments are great. You guys are always fun. We got jokes. We got a new name for Kate, so that's fantastic. And, I think this year is really going to be fantastic. Again, check out our other shows in the Let's Talk Football family. The ladies' takeover is Thursdays. Again, Delilah, we do have a show this week, right? You do?
Yes, we do. Sorry. Ash and I are teachers. Janae, as everybody, if you have Janae, she's expecting a baby any day now. Her wife's in the hospital,
right?
So we're waiting for a miracle baby coming, right? Because all babies are miracles. So Thursday it's gonna be me, Kate, and Ash, and then hopefully we get Miss Janae back on, as soon as newborn is settled and everything. So, but yes, the ladies takeover is gonna be on Thursday. So hope everybody tunes in.
For sure.
We're excited to get our first preseason game off, and all of us love talking football. We see all the commercials still geared towards men, like a very men here's the song, right? That's the NFL sound. Like whatever, like come on now, Ray should know better. Like the numbers are in. A lot of women are watching football.
Hey, I see it firsthand. I know a lot of women who can talk football. Probably better than some men that I know. So yeah, I don't argue with that at all. But again, and of course, Sunday's coming this season. We have the big show, the 2-hour preview show on Sunday. That stars my Sean Spencer, myself, Dylan, and Nate. So be out to look out for that.
And then my segment will be back on there, by the way, Diversity with Delilah. It's not gone.
Shameless plug. No, but of course,
I'm going to plug myself.
No, I know. I'm teasing. We're always going to plug you, girl. Don't worry about it.
It's my favorite segment.
Diversity with Delilah has moved to Sunday to the big show on Sunday, 2-hour preview show. So you can catch Diversity with Delilah there. Trust me, it's going to be better than ever. I'm sure Delilah has big stuff planned for you guys this year. So we have that going. We have Monday night still with Janae and Sean, of course, the Let's Talk Football, where this all started, the original program. And then, what am I missing? The fantasy show.
Anthony, go ahead, talk about yours too.
I was going to get to them.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. You guys are always jumping the gun on me. You're like, yeah, no, come on, Nick, you forgot this, you forgot that. Why don't you just say that already? Come on.
It wasn't
you guys are worse than my last 4 girlfriends. Man, let me tell you something. Nick, do this. Nick, do that. Nick, do it. Okay. I got it.
Go for it.
No. It's okay. I'm just playing with all. I love you guys. But no, yes. Obviously, we have the fantasy show, too, from 11 to 12 Central Time, right after the big show on Sundays. That's Ash Swinton, Sydney Swinton, and David Wright. We'll get all your fantasy needs for you. Then, of course, some dude, the third guy in this picture, has some sort of show where they talk about some kind of college stuff. I don't know. I'm kidding. This week in SEC football with Anthony Handy and his coach, Colin. How do you say his last name?
Colin Pashew.
They do SEC this week in SEC football. I think it's on Tuesdays, my friend.
It is on Monday evenings.
Oh, Monday evening. Sorry. So you want to look for that. Again, we all love to talk football. We're all here for each other. Thank you for watching, guys. We're going to get to our final segment, which, of course, if you remember from last year, the thing we always do is, did it work? One last word. All right. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. One last word. So we'll start with things. You guys are still laughing. What happened now? Somebody make another comment.
We're just happy to be here, bro.
We're excited.
I'm always happy to
be
here. Right.
I'm
surprised I beat you to that one. I'm surprised I beat you to that one, Anthony. That's usually you. I got you on that one. There you go. I'm happy to be here.
I've recently been placed in charge of garbage.
That's right. Son, you want to keep working here? Stay off the drugs.
Yes.
But Anthony, go ahead. Give us for this show has been phenomenal. One last word for this week, my friend. Give us one.
Man. Enjoy life. Do what we're doing right now. Enjoy life. Just get in the moment and just forget what's going on in the world around you for a little bit. I know you gotta pay bills. You gotta go to your job. You might have to go to the doctor if you got some kind of medical condition, but take a few moments in life to just go, there's a moment going on right here. I'm going to embrace the spirit of the moment and just enjoy it until get all the goodie that I can get out of it, because sometimes in sometimes life ain't so great. So, and the last couple of years have been kind of rough on a lot of us all. So when you get an opportunity to have some good, just hold it and squeeze it and, hug it and pet it and rub it and pet its fur. And I will name him George and all of that good stuff. Just enjoy it and just, don't put the sadness on a shelf. And that sounds like a song, but just enjoy it. Enjoy yourself. Have a good time. Enjoy what it is that life has to offer you.
Agree. Delilah, your one last word.
I'm muting myself.
Oh, sorry,
sorry. I have animals in my household, as you guys know. Anyway.
We like the birds.
So I just wanted to make 2 more plugs before my last word. We have North Sports Dynasty on Fridays, even though they're our cousins. North Sports.
Oh, that's right. Those are the Canadian kids who do a football thing.
Our Canadians brothers and sisters.
Our Canadian brothers to the north.
So anyway, so Tune in on Fridays to North Sports Dynasties, and on Saturdays, that's when the college football comes on with Kate and a bunch of our other LTF family. So lots of LTF to go around, and Wednesdays, of course, Washington football. You know, that's when Sean comes on. Basically, it's football all week again with your LTF family, and you know, and anybody else would decide to bring into the fold. But anyway, so moving on from that, all I wanted to say is like the seasons are changing, right? Moving from, you know, summer to fall, and just kind of take time to just kind of enjoy the shifting of the weather, and like kind of what Anthony was saying, there's a lot going on, and it's okay to unplug. Okay, it's okay to unplug sometimes. It's okay to mute chats, conversations. It's okay to move away from social media for a little bit, even if it's for a few hours or even in a day, and recalibrate and spend time with your loved ones and go out and friends, whatever it is. You know, make sure you do take those breaks. Like, come and see us, but also take breaks in between. Like, that's okay. We record all these shows, so even if you can't watch us live, come back onto our YouTube channels. Please watch the replays. Still comment, still like, keep sharing, because I do really believe that's important to enjoy the moment. So even if you can't see us live, go and check out the replay. Check out all our channels. But yeah, take time to unwind and unplug and do whatever you need to do to decompress and recalibrate, because self-care is super important.
Nope, I agree. And that's the thing. I mean, I kind of echo the sentiments. My last word was going to be along the similar vein: live, laugh, and love. I mean, we got one life, kids. We're not here for a long period of time, but again, enjoy the time you have. And I've learned that valuable lesson myself with going from 2 jobs to 1, and being able to kind of step back, just working the 1 job, and really kind of see what's around me and enjoy some more family time, some more, you know, friend time, that sort of thing. Life is short, man. You got to enjoy the time you have. You got to enjoy your family, your friends. You got to enjoy all that, you know, and laughing like this is great. I mean, this show has probably been one of my favorites, just because, you know, we are who we are. We're 100%, you know, who we are. And we're going to show you that. This is how we are off camera. Like, if anybody thinks we're just putting this on for the show, no, this is how we are. This is 100% who we are. We just break out in laughter for no reason. I mean, stuff happens. It's just the way it is. So really enjoy, guys. I mean, we love you. We appreciate you watching. We really do. So on behalf of my co-host, my lovely co-host, Anthony Handy, the lovely Delilah Crespo, who, thank you for getting the rest of the plugs in, because of course my old man brain. Right, my old man brain. See, guys, this is what they tell you. Behind every dumb guy is a smart woman. So I appreciate Delilah picking me up on that one, because I wouldn't remember all that stuff if I wrote it down. But again, thank you. Again, there will not be
There's nobody back there.
There's nobody back. Okay, well, I think your wife would beg to differ there, Andy. She's probably yelling.
There's nobody in this corner. Don't you start no stuff in my house, Tim Bayless. Don't you start that.
But
what up, Nate? You came at the end. We're about to end. Sorry,
Nate,
bro.
You got in
Hey, what's up? What's up, man? Nate has a bunch of shows too. Sorry.
Podcast, right. Don't forget the Big Nate Podcast on YouTube. You can subscribe to his channel as well. We'll just give everybody a plug. Big Nate Podcast. We love it. Nate's a good guy.
No, I don't.
If you want to talk basketball, Nate is your guy. Let me tell you something.
Yes, especially WNBA. He's got that on lock.
He's got that on lock. That's for sure. Playoffs are coming up. He'll tell you all about it. No lie. But again, thank you all. Seriously, have a great week. We will not, due to work conflict, we will not be with you next week. So we will return on the 30th. And by that time, we'll have 53-man rosters. We'll have full teams, and we'll preview the upcoming season, okay? So thank you all for watching, and have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my goodness. Let me see if I get this right this time.